Welcome back to Total Racing. Well, it's time to build this rear bumper for the 4x4 Cummins van. But before we do that, I want to modify this rear hitch just a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean I completely want to rebuild it. Anyway, let's dive into that, and then we'll get going on our overly complicated, simple rear bumper. All right, so here's the plan, is I'm going to take the two outer pieces of this hitch. I'm going to remove the center part, which is also really tight on 2-inch tubing. Receivers don't really fit in it. I could clean it out, but I'm just not going to use any part of it. It also sticks out too far, so I want a shorter one. And so I started looking around on some of the parts trucks I have, and this hitch was on an old square body Chevy, this one here, and it's 3-inch square tube. Looks like quarter wall. It's either 3/16 or quarter wall, but this should fit around. Once I cut these plates off, this should fit over the other hitch. So now I have my two halves of the hitch that bolts onto the frame, and then this is going to be the inner piece, and those 2.5-inch square tubes should fit on the inside of this one, hopefully. And that will be how I make up this second this new hitch. Now I'm also going to run it upside down. This way the hitch is on the top side, which isn't super convenient for towing trailers because they have to use a bigger drop hitch, but it makes the van have more ground clearance, so I don't have that hitch hanging down, and it gives me the flat surface there to make the skid plate for our fuel tank. That's going to bolt onto the bottom of this hitch. So now I'm just going to tack it up now that I got it bolted on, and that worked out actually pretty good. So now this is the leftover front rec tube from the front bumper. We're matching the same ends that I have on the front bumper, so it's two angled cuts there. One's at 45 and one's at, I think it was 13 degrees or something. It was something odd, but I was visually matching it to the fender, and so I just duplicated that for the back bumper, and that ended up looking pretty good. I'm a little bit nervous to do this, but I am going to bend the outside in a little bit since the van starts kind of turning. I think it's going to look it might look a little funny. We'll see. So all I'm going to do to bend it is I'm just going to basically take a pie out of the backside, and then we'll bend it, and then we'll just weld it up. That way the front will have a nice edge. The part you see will have a nice edge. It'll be bent instead of welded. So I set my blade depth so it won't cut through the front side of the tube, but it'll cut real close to it. That way it'll bend pretty easy because we're just bending basically an 1/8-inch piece of sheet metal in a box. So I didn't leave myself. I cut them at 5 degrees both, but I was a little close to the edge, so the gap closed up before I actually hit my 10 degrees. So now we have it there, and now all we have to do is duplicate it on this side. And we'll try to do this one in just 2 cuts instead of 3. That works out pretty good. So I think it looks pretty good on there, especially upside down. Oops. There we go. That looks better. And it doesn't look as dumb. I was really afraid I was going to look kind of stupid, but it doesn't look bad at all. It looks better than it being straight for sure. Now I'm just drilling some plates. These are going to be on the extensions that come out from the factory mounts on the van. I drilled these ones offset because I want the bracket to be down lower a little bit. Otherwise it'll be sticking up above the bumper. So these two are offset, and then the other two I drilled were centered, eyeball centered, but they'll be close enough. And then I'm just putting 1.5-inch square tube on them. And that's going to be our top bracket for the bumper in the center part, and then the outer part we'll get to in a minute. But we got to also do a bottom bracket for it. We want this to be a little bit stronger than the factory bumper, but we're still bolting to the van, so it's not ever going to be insanely strong. We're going to make it a lot more strong because it's going to be tying into the frame on the bottom, but it's still nothing I really want to start yanking on real hard. So we're not going to be putting any sort of recovery rings or anything on this bumper. So now I did that all off measuring, so we got to see if it'll fit. A little minor adjustment here. I just basically hot tacked it, and it's close. It does go on there, but it takes some persuasion, so we need to adjust them just a little bit. I was measuring center of the port square tube goes through, I couldn't really get to the holes to measure where the holes are, and the holes obviously aren't perfectly centered. So I had to adjust them just a little bit. Now these are going to be our bottom bracket. So these are going to go to the frame that's inside the unibody frame. So it's still unibody. If you haven't been following along, it's still unibody, but there's two frames morphed together. So this is going to the ram section of the frame on the bottom. So this is going to be like a little cradle that the bottom of our bumper will go on, and it'll go to the same bolt that the factory ram rear bumper went to. So now just rounding them out and making them so they're not sharp and cutting and scraping us. It's easier to do it now than afterwards. And then I'm also getting rid of some of the mill scale, because that mill scale on angle iron doesn't weld very nice. So this is what it looks like. So when I bolt it on, now it just cradles the bottom of the bumper there. And that'll look pretty good. That'll keep the bumper from twisting. So now it's mounted on the top side, and now this is all the way on the bottom side. So I'm making sure that the bumper is sitting level. With the van I have sitting, the van actually sits on its own pretty darn level, and I'm just matching it just to make sure the bumper's not tipped one way or the other. I'll just go ahead and tack those on there, and then we'll move on. It's always interesting to see if the thing will still come off after you start adding brackets like that. And I am nervous about the outside brackets on them not coming out very well when we go to remove this bumper. And that's what we're going to make right now. I'm doing these ones out of pipe because I don't have quite as much room on these outside areas. So we're going to do them out of pipe. I'm just making them real long right now, and then I'll bolt them in there, and we'll actually just cut them off afterwards. That way we don't have to try to measure and figure out exactly the angle and everything, because those don't go in there perfectly straight. They're kind of pointing to towards the outside of the van. So now I'll just bolt these in there. And then since they're just bolted to basically double wall sheet metal of the van, I'm gonna hammer them around, because this thing it obviously had been hit in the back end a couple times because the bumper brackets were where they bolt on were kind of all bent around. You could kind of see where they were bent around. So I just kind of, once I got them bolted in with the washers and everything, I just hammered them so they're pointing in the right direction. And then we'll go ahead and set the bumper up there and then tack it on after we get these adjusted right. I just guessed on the angle and the length. I was actually pretty close enough to where I'm able to just grind them. I cut them intentionally a little bit long. And now I have it, and we'll just tack them on there. And then we'll hope that the bumper will come back off after we do that. So I offset the pipes all the way to the outside. They are slotted holes towards the inside. So I put the pipe all the way to the outside, so that way as the thread's pulling out straight, it's technically coming out diagonal. Hopefully there'll be enough room in that slot for the threads to come out, and it turns out there is. So that worked out pretty good there. Now all I have to do is cap the ends. I did this out of one piece, and I just bent it on that same brake that we used on the front bumper. That worked out pretty good. And then I tacked up our miters there quite a bit, because it is an open gap. So I tacked it up quite a bit so that it doesn't move around when we weld it, because if that moved, our mounts would no longer line up as well. And then we're just doing that. And I'm welding everything pretty symmetrical. I didn't put any stiffeners or anything on it. And we'll just cross our fingers that nothing moved. And if it did, we'll have to address it then. Now I'm moving on to the hitch. The one problem with the hitch, and this was like this even before we cut it apart, the back end of it was open too wide by about 3/4 of an inch. So I preloaded it, and that way when we weld it, it'll stay in that position there, and it'll be a lot easier to bolt it up. I won't have to flex those in every time. And you can actually watch the clamp just fall. That's the weld that I'm putting on right there is the one that's going to be pulling that in. And then it ends up staying, and that's going to make it a lot easier to take the thing on and off. Not that you do that very often, but I have to do it a couple times throughout the build, so just putting that clamp on there made a world of difference as far as that goes. So now we're going to add some D-rings to it. This is going to be our safety chain D-rings and recovery D-rings, so they're going to be very heavy. These are 20,000-pound D-rings, and we're just going to put them there. They do look a little bit like permanent truck nuts, but function over form or something like that. I don't know. It definitely isn't the placement I would choose for style. But as far as function, those are going to work pretty good. Now to quiet those down, because those things will rattle, I split a piece of hose, and you lube it up and squeeze it in the backside. Hold the D-ring pointing straight out. This is obviously after everything's painted and everything. You'll pull the ring straight out, and then you'll actually put a hose around the D-ring on the back side, and that keeps the D-ring tight in that slot, and they don't rattle around on you. On the bolt-in style, it's even easier because you can actually squeeze the rubber in when you're bolting them up. But on the weld-on style, your only option is to slip it in after the fact. So now I'm just going to grind it and clean it all up. And that's going to be how it's going to be for the No Balls Car Show. And we will take them back off, and then we'll finish doing all the prep work. And then we'll Raptor line the front bumper and the rear bumper and the coming roof basket for the roof rack. So that's what I'm going to start building next after we're done with this project. So that hitch bolted up perfectly now. That made it a hell of a lot easier. I modified my hitch jack hitch thing a little bit so that it'll slip on there all the way. It used to interfere, so it didn't used to go in there all the way, and now it goes in all the way. It's pretty good. Bumper bolted on perfectly. Everything stayed exactly where it was supposed to be. So that turned out pretty good. Everything just slipped right together. I have 0 clearance holes on the bumper, and it still fits. So I won't oversize those unless we absolutely have to after we paint it, but I don't think so. Nothing should move from here on out. We may have to add a ladder bracket to it. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do the ladder for the roof basket yet. And it may have something to do with the rear bumper. So we may be adding on to this rear bumper, but I'm not sure if that's how we're going to do it, if we're going to go off the side or what we're going to do yet. Anyway, I think it looks pretty good. So thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one.